stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning, everyone. Should have stretched before I came on here. Hope everybody's having a good day so far. It's June 15th. And you're probably wondering why Dion's not wearing a t-shirt. That's the stuff people recognize about me. Did you get a haircut? Dion, how come you're not wearing a t-shirt? I'm going to get my driver's license today. So, nice little, progress, man, right? Now I get to drive around legally. It's kind of cool. Not that I've been driving around illegally. A little bit. I usually have my wife in the car when I'm driving. So, I'll be making an announcement on Trudging Together today that I'm very excited about. I'm happy. Been working hard to get to some places. A lot of people interfering with it. They don't want it to happen. But it is. So, there you go. Let's get started. Making AA your higher power. Okay. You can make AA itself your higher power. Okay. Why is that? Because it is something bigger than you. Now, it can't be an individual person, right? It's got to be like, like Bill's Brown Baggers group. It can't be like, well, it's that one a couple of people. It's got to be the whole group, okay? Because one or two people are not bigger than God, or is not bigger than God. That's not what I was trying to say. Isn't big enough, okay? And it's a great place to start, man. If you're wondering where you can't get, remember that this is a higher power of your own choosing, okay? Of your own choosing. But let's be, let's do it the right way. Okay. My first higher power was Batman. Okay. I only did that because I was young, and I ended up changing that. Here's a very large group of people who solved their alcohol problem. Many members have crossed the threshold this way. Their faith broadened and deepened, transformed. They came to believe in a higher power. It's great. I don't care if you're utilizing a doorknob. If it is working for you, go for it. Go for it, man. If it is truly and honestly working for you, you got to be able to answer those questions first. So that's a 12 by 12 page 27, which would be step 2. All right. Well, says the newcomer, I know you're telling me the truth. It's no doubt a fact that AA is full of people who once believed as I do. But just how in these circumstances does a fellow take it easy? That's what I want to know. Dad agrees the sponsor is a very good question indeed. I think I can tell you exactly how to relax. You won't have to work very hard at it either. Listen, if you will, to these 3 statements. First, Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand... Whatever that was too noisy. I will be getting rid of it. Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand that you believe anything. No. There again, yeah, these things are suggestions, but you might want to follow them. All of its 12 steps are but suggestions. Second, to get and stay sober, you don't have to swallow all those step 2 right now. Nope. Looking back, I found I took a piecemeal myself. Third, all you really need is a truly open mind. Just resign from the debating society and quit bothering yourself with deep questions such as whether it was the hen or the egg that came first. Again, I say all you need is an open mind. And you guys don't what if yourself. I was hearing this yesterday, and gosh, yeah, and in the meeting too, what would I do if I lost my wife or my significant other? Would I drink? I am not going to do that to myself. Don't. Okay? I'm going to let you know what I said in the meeting. I've done over 62 stories. And I could tell you there's absolutely nothing in this world that could make you drink. Okay? I've listened to people go through more shit in sobriety, okay, than I have. Than is brought up in meetings, okay? Because we don't like to talk about some of the shit that's happened to us in meetings, at meetings. That can be a hard part. I watched it yesterday. Somebody offended somebody else. And instead of it getting worked out, that person just shut down. They just turned off their camera, didn't talk, because they felt like they had offended an old timer. And personally, I didn't hear what happened, but it should never have to feel that way. Nope. The sponsor continues, take, for example, my own case. I had a scientific schooling. Naturally, I respected, venerated, even worshiped science. As a matter of fact, I still do, all except the worship part. Time after time, my instructors held up to me the basic principle of scientific progress. I love this one. Search and research again and again, always with an open mind. Not only that, but when it comes to science, okay, if there is no answer, whatever is the best answer is the answer, right? It's something like that. I know I'm probably off on my verbiage, but when I first looked at AA, my reaction was like yours. This AA business I thought was totally unscientific. This I can't swallow. I simply won't consider such nonsense, okay? It's hard to believe in something that you can't see or hear or feel or touch, okay? I remember I had a couple of friends that used to be friends. Anyway, we were at the bar. And they were saying how they were agnostic and blah, blah, blah. The what? Right? Then they brought up how fate had brought them together. And I said, well, isn't fate bigger than you guys? Isn't that believing in something bigger than you? And from that point on, my best friend's wife hated me. All right. Then I woke up. I had to admit that AA showed results, prodigious results. Can't deny that. Just look at the other people. Go listen. Go to trudgingtogether.com. Listen to some stories, man. I saw my attitude regarding these had been anything but scientific. It wasn't AA that had the closed mind. It was me. What is so cool about resigning from the debating committee and stop fighting and doing this part right here, finding out that the closed mind was you, is going to make this happen. The minute I stopped arguing, I began to see and feel. Right? Sometimes we get to a point, I know this happens with alcoholics and addicts. Gary, maybe you can fill us in on overeating, but we get caught so much in our disease that like I was listening to a lady, she said she lived somewhere for 20 years. It wasn't until about 3 weeks ago that she discovered that they had crickets. She never heard of them. It was blocked out from her mind. She couldn't see the beauty. She couldn't see green. She couldn't, and it'll block that stuff out from our minds. So once we're not so closed-minded and we're starting to see the forest for the trees, we begin right here. It says it right here. The minute I stopped arguing, I could begin to see and feel. Right there. Step 2, gently and very gradually began to infiltrate my life. I can't say upon what occasion or upon what day I came to believe in a power greater than myself, but I certainly have that belief now. To acquire it, I only had to stop fighting and practice the rest of AA's program as enthusiastically as I could. Doesn't mean you need to bring out the pom-poms. Ooh, I'm not much of a cheerleader myself. Um, when my passion pops up, I don't cheerlead. I go into what I call dad mode. Hey man, I was just watching this thing on Robin Williams, and he was dealing with a pretty fucked up disease, man. No, and I don't feel like he gave up on life. That's not what happened. Um, but and I would tell you what it is, but I can't even pronounce it. So, but he had some brain problems, and what he said was that he knew that there wasn't a cure, but what he wanted to do was find out as much as he could and pass it on to other people so that they did not fear it. Sound familiar? No. So, what do you have to say on that? It's hard to hide and spray before I can hide with my food. So, it is the same. Yeah. Now that we're focused, so you guys, what does that tell us? It tells us that this way works for anybody, man. That when anybody steps out of the sunlight of the spirit, they're screwed, right? That this can happen to anybody. You don't, you know, I don't need alcohol in me to be nuts. I don't. I'm not very proud to say that, but it's true. No one was greater than I, at least in my eyes, when I was drinking. Yeah. Nevertheless, I couldn't smile at myself in the mirror, so I came to AA where, with others, I heard talk of a higher power. I couldn't accept the concept of a higher power because I believed God was cruel and unloving. In desperation, I chose a table, a tree, then my AA group as my higher power. Time passed, my life improved, and I began to wonder about this higher power. Gradually, with patience, humility, and a lot of questions, I came to believe in God. Now my relationship with my higher power gives me the strength to live a happy and sober life. So it's okay to start out with that, right? But it's just a beginning. What you want to do is develop a relationship with your higher power. I talk with God all day long. I talked to him 4 or 5 times before I came on here. I got up at what, 8? 7:30, 8 o'clock? God, is this the right way? Well, it's just quick check-ins, 2 seconds. So, what a great day. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow for the daily reflection. And, yeah, love you guys. Peace out, and have a day.